Hey, how you doing there? Henry Olson here from Super Simple Guitar, and welcome to another 5-Minute Friday. Short and sweet, little lesson, something that you can take, make your own, and have a lot of fun with over the weekend. So today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite things to do when I'm playing on a blues. So this is going to work anytime you're playing a major blues, or kind of like a standard blues. If it's a minor blues, it's not going to work. But just like on a standard blues with 7th chords, right, this is going to work. So it sounds kind of like this. On your 1 chord, instead of just strumming it, what you could do is put in these things called sixths. It's hard to say, but what it does is it sounds like this. Right? So that's on your 1 chord. When it goes to the 4 chord, the really cool thing is you could just go 1 string set further down and it's going to work exactly the same as it did on the 1 chord, okay? So you could either do this when you're kind of playing rhythm guitar instead of strumming, right? Whatever strumming pattern you want to do, you could just hit that bass note 2 times, slide in, slide back, right? I'm going to show you in just a second exactly the fingering, but just so you know, as far as a concept, where you can apply this, right? So you could either do it within your kind of rhythm playing, right? Or when you're playing solos, you could also just kind of play a little lick and then add that in there. Or if you're playing with a second guitar player, have that guitar player play the chords and you just kind of discreetly add that in there rather than strumming the same big fat chord, right? Getting out of the way, playing something slightly different, causing some dynamics and some difference in the tone of what the listener is eventually going to hear, right? So that's the concept and why and kind of where you can apply it. And now let me show you exactly where it is, okay? So again, on the 1 chord, on the A7, and I should also say this is going to be tabbed out. You're going to have a tab, free tab, linked in the description showing you exactly what's happening in the chord shapes, okay? And you're also going to get a picture of my chord book that's going to show you, if you don't know this is an A7 or this is a C7 or this is a D7 and so on, that chord book is going to show exactly how these moving chords, how you can find them and move them around in all kinds of different movable shapes as well, okay? So check that out if you want to. Let's now do it. So on that 1 chord, the A7, what you can do is 2nd string and 4th string, 5th fret, slide into the 7th fret, and then slide back, okay? And then you could go to the 7th fret 1 more time if you want to. It's optional. This is something you can kind of play around with. But what I like to do is, see that? Bum, 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 bum. And then kind of go back 1 last time, slide out. The tricky part about that and what you're going to have to be careful with is when you slide out, you're going to want to mute all the notes with your 1st finger that you don't want to have ring. So I'm trying to only have that 2nd and 4th string ring, right? It's going to take a little practice if you've never done it, but it's a cool little thing to play around with. And I also don't do it perfectly every time. Something to play with, something to have fun with, okay? So again, on that 1 chord on the A7, you could just hit the bass, then do that little slide in from 5 to 7, and then end it here or just end it here. Both work, okay? Then when it goes to the D7, again, this is going to be in the tab, okay? That's a D7 shape. Same exact thing, except now we're doing it on the 1st and on the 3rd string. Right? Okay. So A7, 2nd and 4th string. D7, 1st and 3rd string. Then when it goes to the 5 chord, the E, same exact thing as we did on the D, except now it's going to still be down here on the 1st and 3rd string. Okay, so on your 1st chord, your 1 chord, your A7, 2nd and 4th string. Then on the rest of the chords, it's going to be 1st and 3rd string. Right? So you could even combine them. 1st time I slide away, 2nd time just kind of stay on there, right? Giving you a little bit of a combination, right? When it goes to the 4 chord. And you could also use your pick, or what I like to do is hybrid pick. I'll use my ring finger to get that higher note and my pick to get the lower note. So depending on how you want to pick it, hybrid picking works well. Picking also works well. You're just going to have to be careful to mute out those notes, okay? So that's the concept. Now what I want you to do is find an A blues, just put it in YouTube, A blues, blues and A, whatever. And when you hear that one chord, that A7, try to play around with that. When it goes to the D7, play around with that. When it goes to the E7, play around with that. And then the next level of that is if you know your A minor pentatonic, that first shape, you could also add in little licks. Right? So I'm taking notes from that pentatonic, and I'm kind of using them also to fill in the space from chord to chord when it's switching in between, or also when you're just on that chord, just to kind of fill it up a little bit. So that's another thing that you can, once you kind of got this under your fingers, play around with, experiment with, try to add in little licks. Okay, it's really a very fun thing to do. So that's 5 Minute Friday from today. Have a great weekend. Again, that tab is linked underneath. You're going to get my picture chord book as well, all totally for free. Give me a thumbs up if you like this lesson. Give me a thumbs up if you've been enjoying these 5 Minute Fridays. I really enjoy making them, so I hope that you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And that's about that. Have a great weekend. Also, check out my All Access membership, structured step-by-step courses. Every course that I've ever made is in there, step-by-step with PDF files, all kinds of more in-depth lessons than these are as well. Okay, so check that out if you want to. And I'll see you very soon with another 5 Minute Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.